Were you employed in the year 2024? Are you having trouble filing your returns because of the annual housing levy, SHA, and post-retirement medical fund? Well, this year we've made it easy for you. So grab your P9 and let's do this together. On your preferred browser, type the word iTax and click on the first link. Enter your PIN and password. So if you've forgotten your password, we have a video on how to reset your password. Check it out on this channel. Do the security stamp. It's an arithmetic. Put the answer. All right, we are interested in filing your 2024 return as an employee. Under the returns menu, select the first option, file return. Under the tax obligation, choose income tax resident individual and move to the next page. We have a set of instructions. Under instruction number 5, we have a link. Click here to download your return in Excel format. So download your Excel and let's fill it together. So enable editing and enable your content. Make sure you get this pop-up. Please do not cut and paste any values in the workbook. This ensures that the return you're filling is not corrupt. Start by filling the basic information part A, key in your PIN. If you're filing for the first time, pick from the drop-down. It will be an original return. And if you've been consistently filing, we'll be filing for the year 2024. So your return period from will be 1st of January 2024 to the last day of last year, that is 31st of January 2024. We have all these other options, which we'll talk about later and in other subsequent videos. So move to the next sheet, sheet F, employment income. From your P9, pick the PIN of your employer. Key in the name of your employer. And then the gross pay. If you check your P9, you have the basic, the benefits, and you have the total gross pay. So key in your gross pay from your P9, the total down below. All right. The rest of the columns, you just key in as 0. From here, move to the next sheet, sheet M, details of pay deducted. Pick the PIN of the employer from the drop-down, key in the name of your employer. And then the taxable salary. So in other P9s, this amount is indicated as taxable salary. In others, you'll find it's indicated either as chargeable pay. So it's the same. So key in the amount or the totals you have in your P9. And then the tax payable and the taxable salary. From your P9, it's normally indicated as tax charged. Okay, so key in the amount, the total figure, and then the amount of tax deducted, also known as your pay, normally on your last column, key in the amount, the total amounts. Okay, so we skip sheet Q and go to the last sheet, sheet T, tax computation. And here, you key in your defined pension contribution. So if you check your P9, we have it under pension contribution, normally column E. So pick the actual contribution, normally under E2. If you have the three of them, pick the E2 one. That is your actual contribution. And key in your amount here. All right, that would be it if you were filing the normal returns for the previous years. But like I mentioned at the beginning, we have notable differences in this year's return. We have the post-retirement medical fund, we have the affordable housing levy, and we have the social health insurance fund. How are we going to declare all this? So allow me to take you back to section A. All right. On section A, we have row 13 that asks, do you have an insurance policy? So here you'll say yes. A sheet L here, computation of insurance relief, will open up. So this is where we will fill the details, the major details that are, or the major differences that are in this year's return. So if you check on the drop down below column C, we have the affordable housing relief, we have education, health, life, NHIF, and post-retirement medical fund. For if you have insurance policies relating to life, education, or health with a maturity period of over 10 years, then you can obtain the certificates from your respective insurance company, and then you'll be able to use the details to fill this section. So we'll fill normally how you fill the PIN of the insurance company, the name of the insurance company, the type of policy, whether life, education, or health. You key in the policy number, insurance policy number, all the way to the end. But we are interested on how we will fill the details for the affordable housing levy or relief, in this case, the post-retirement medical fund and NHIF. Let's begin with NHIF. We'll start with the PIN of NHIF. Okay, so the name of the insurance in this case will be NHIF. So for this, for last year, the year 2024, we will declare the NHIF deductions of which you were liable for insurance relief from January to September 2024. So you'll check on your P9 and add up from January to September. That's when it was effective, the NHIF relief was effective, and then you'll key in your type of policy as NHIF, the policy insurance number, key in your policy insurance number, and then the amount. Remember, we said you're picking the totals from January to September 2024 when NHIF was still active. So in my case, I will use the figures on my P9. Okay. And you're done with that section for NHIF. Secondly, we have, apologies. Secondly, we have the housing levy relief. This was capped at 15% of your contributions. So if you check your P9 under affordable housing levy, the amounts have already been factored in there. So from column C, you will pick affordable housing relief. You will notice the rest of the sections will be grayed out, and then you'll put the totals that are in your P9 from the month of March to November last year. Okay, get that correct? So in my case, the amount is 3,519. Okay, So you'll see that that amount will be automatically computed at 15%, and this is the relief that you get. Remember also that this return was also updated so that it allows for the declaration of the post-retirement medical fund relief under this sheet L, the insurance relief sheet for the contributions made in the year 2024. So we are saying from January 2024 to November 2024, the post-retirement medical fund relief will be captured under this section. So remember, we only had 2 active rows. You can add a row here if you have something to declare under PRMF or post-retirement medical fund. In my case, it's a 0, so I'll just leave it as blank. All right, remember we had filled the details of our payee, so we can go again back now to the last sheet, sheet T, the tax computation sheet. Here, on the details of post-medical retirement fund, remember here we were capturing the relief. When you talk about the relief, there's a difference between reliefs and deductions. For reliefs, we capture on this section L, computation of insurance relief, be it NHIF relief, be it the affordable housing relief, be it the post-retirement medical fund relief, be it the insurance policies that you have for life, education, or health. This is where we declare them. But now for deductions, we will compute them on this last sheet, sheet T, tax computation. So we'll start with the post-retirement medical fund. Remember, the reliefs covered up to the month of November. So if you have something to declare, then you can come here and declare the amounts for the month of December. Therefore, on this sheet, we are going to capture the applicable allowable deductions for the year 2024. So on post-retirement medical fund, we are going to capture the amounts for December 2024. So if you have your P9, you can check the amount you have in December 2024. If you don't have anything to declare, you just leave it as a 0. For affordable housing levy, again, we are going to capture the applicable allowable deduction for the month of December. So in my case, I'll pick the amounts I have. Okay. And then on social health insurance fund also, we are going to pick the applicable allowable deduction for December. So you just check your P9 and pick the amount that is there in December. Okay. The personal relief for 2024 was 28,800 or 2,500 a month, and that one is auto-populated. And if you check our return down below, we have balanced at 0. So click on validate to zip the return. Remember, you don't save as, you don't go to file and save as like the way we save normal documents. You just click on validate and the return will be zipped and saved in a folder called your documents. So let's go back to iTax and upload our return. You will click or put the cursor on returns and select file returns, right? Our obligation was income tax resident individual, and now we want to upload the return. So browse, go to your documents, select the file you want to upload, agree to the terms and conditions, and then click on submit.